Yes, it's frustrating. It feels destructive, like they're ruining something you care about for no reason. But behind that simple action, there's something deeper that most people miss. It's one of the most emotionally loaded ways your cat communicates with you. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might be pushing them away or missing what they've been trying to tell you all along. Let's start with what that scratching really means. Have you ever caught your cat scratching the exact same spot over and over again? Most people think it's just bad behavior, or boredom, or even revenge. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat isn't trying to ruin your furniture, they're trying to send a message. Scratching is one of the clearest forms of feline communication. It's visual, it's physical, and it's intentional. When your cat digs their claws into that surface, they're not just sharpening them, they're leaving a signal that says, this space matters. Think about that for a second. To your cat, your home isn't just a place to live, it's a territory to understand, organize, and feel safe in. And here's where most owners get it wrong. When you punish or stop them without understanding why, you're not correcting behavior, you're interrupting communication. And by the way, if your cat suddenly stops scratching altogether, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means at the end, and it's something most owners wish they understood sooner. Have you ever noticed how focused your cat becomes while scratching? The slow stretch, the pressure, the repetition. It almost looks relieving. Here's what's actually happening. A 2017 study from the University of Georgia found that scratching activates both physical and neurological reward systems in cats. It's not just maintenance, it's regulation. When your cat scratches, they release built-up tension in their muscles and nervous system. It helps them reset. Behavioral scientists call this a self-soothing displacement behavior. But what that really means is simple. Your cat is calming themselves down. So when they scratch your couch after a stressful moment, like a loud noise, a new visitor, or even a change in your routine, they're not acting out. They're trying to feel safe again. Think about that. Your cat is using your home, your environment, to regulate their emotions, and that turns scratching from something random into something deeply personal. Have you ever wondered why your cat scratches objects you use the most? Your couch, your bed, the corner of your desk? Not random places, your places. Here's what most people don't realize. Cats have scent glands in their paws. When they scratch, they're not just leaving marks you can see. They're leaving invisible chemical signals, pheromones. A 2019 study on feline scent communication found that these pheromones act as emotional markers, not just territorial ones. So when your cat scratches something you use, they're doing something very specific. They're blending their scent with yours. Think about that for a second. They're not just claiming space, they're creating shared space. This is your cat saying, "This belongs to us." What makes this even more meaningful is that scent is how cats define safety. So when they mix their scent with yours, they're literally building a world where you and them exist together, not separately. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. Have you ever noticed how your cat stretches fully when they scratch? Front legs extended, back slightly raised, claws fully engaged? It looks instinctive. That's because it is. Here's what's actually happening. In the wild, cats scratch trees and surfaces to leave both visual and scent signals for other animals. It's how they establish presence without confrontation. Animal behavior research shows that this behavior goes back thousands of years, long before cats lived with humans. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Domestic cats didn't lose this instinct, they redirected it. Instead of trees, they use your home. Instead of warning other animals, they communicate stability and safety within their environment. And that means when your cat scratches your furniture, they're not being difficult. they're following an ancient instinct, adapted to include you. You are now part of their territory, part of their world. Have you ever noticed your cat ignores some furniture completely, but obsessively scratches others? That's not random. Most people assume it's about texture or preference, but here's what's actually happening. Cats choose scratching locations based on emotional significance. They target areas that feel important, active, alive with your presence. Behavioral studies on domestic cats show that scratching is often concentrated in high interaction zones, places you spend the most time. Think about that. They're not choosing the couch because it's soft. They're choosing it because you're there, because it smells like you, because it feels like the center of their world. And here's the part most people miss. They don't do this for strangers. They don't do this in unfamiliar places the same way. This behavior is selective, which means it's personal. Your cat isn't just scratching a surface. They're interacting with your shared life. Here's what most owners never realize. Scratching isn't just about claws or territory or instinct. It's about emotional expression. Have you ever noticed your cat scratches more after something changes? A new pet? A new schedule? Even you coming home later than usual? Here's what's actually happening. Animal cognition research shows that cats use repetitive physical behaviors to process emotional shifts. Scratching becomes a way to release uncertainty, a way to stabilize their environment. And this is where it connects back to something deeper. When your cat scratches your furniture during these moments, they're not rejecting you. They're reaching for familiarity, for something that smells like you, feels like you, belongs to you. Think about that for a second. In moments of stress, they turn to your presence, even if it's through something as simple as a couch. So the next time your cat scratches something you love, remember, they might be trying to hold on to something that makes them feel safe. Remember earlier when I said if your cat stops scratching, don't ignore it? This is what I was talking about. Most people only notice scratching when it's happening too much. But here's what's actually happening when it disappears. A sudden stop in scratching can signal emotional shutdown, illness, or discomfort. Veterinary behavioral studies show that reduced marking behaviors often correlate with increased stress or health issues. Because scratching isn't optional for cats. It's necessary. So when it disappears, it usually means something deeper has changed. Maybe they don't feel safe. Maybe they don't have the energy. Maybe something is wrong. Think about that. The behavior you once found annoying might actually be a sign that everything is okay. And when it's gone, that's when you need to pay attention. Don't ignore it. So when your cat scratches your furniture, do you actually know what they're trying to say? They're not being destructive. They're not being difficult. They're communicating, regulating, marking, connecting. They're telling you this space matters, that you matter, that they feel something here worth claiming, protecting, and returning to. That's not bad behavior. That's emotional expression. And that scratching, the thing that seemed so small, so frustrating, it was never small to them. And it shouldn't be small to you.